Well, here's the scary part to the Tua concussion. Now, he's had 2 concussions this season, had a back injury also as part of this equation. The video shows that he got hurt in the second quarter of the game last weekend, hit his head on the turf. That's the second time he's had that injury. Never got pulled out of the game. The officials in the booth never saw anything wrong. He played the rest of the game, but he threw a pile of interceptions in the second half of the Miami loss. Miami's lost 4 in a row now. So he didn't play very well. Did not show any signs of concussion in the locker room after the game. Monday, and this is the weird angle to the story, Monday, the head coach, the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, and the 3 QBs on the roster have their own private video session, and they review the game. And Mike McDaniel, the coach, was sitting there across the table from Tua, and they showed him formations and asked him why he made this decision to throw the ball here that resulted in a pick. And Tua could not process the information and could not answer it, the question. And at that point, Mike McDaniel said, there's something not right. So they got done with the video session, and Mike McDaniel took Tua into his office, and he called the medical people and said, I need you to examine him. I think he needs to go into the concussion protocol. So there's a lot of questions about how come the NFL did not notice anything, but concussions can occur and maybe you don't get a symptom till 6 hours later at home or 12 hours later the next day. And that's what I think. I think the latter thing is what happened to Tua, but I'm not sure that he plays the rest of the season now that he's had 2 of them. And secondly, what happens in Miami? I mean, they were one of the beasts in the East in the middle of the season. You and I were talking about them in Philadelphia and Buffalo all being cut from the same cloth. They were in huge trouble. The guy on the right, I tell you what a special individual. J.J. Watt had a great career in Houston, played through a lot of injuries. Then they tore the franchise down. He was the last one standing. He wound up getting traded to Arizona. He's had a huge bounce-back season. He's got 111 career sacks. And this week, he just decided to announce now, these are the final 2 games I'm playing for Arizona, which is out of the playoff race. Not only was he a great player, great person. You know, you and I have talked often about athletes, what they do for their team, but also what they do for the community. He privately funded through his wealth a flood relief program for all the people badly damaged by hurricanes in Houston. Privately funded it himself. It's like over $2 million. What a special individual. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's going out on his own terms, and most players in the NFL don't do that. Hell of a guy.
I mean, is this a little bit like Jim Brown, like maybe retiring a little bit early, going out on top, maybe so he can be a healthy dad? It's an interesting story. But as far as Tua goes, good on McDaniel for, bringing in the doctors. But just think about 10, 20 years ago, they never would have even blinked an eye. They would have thrown him out there the next week and the week after that, and he would have been in real trouble. I mean, if this was in the 1980s or 90s.
Yeah, well, I credit Mike McDaniel for making the decision he made, because we all know what's on the line his last 2 games trying to stop this skid. So they're in a world of hurt there.